is this?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I live here.
So everybody, it's true. This is my neighbor. Y'all know him as Rob. Y'all know him as Travels with Dottie. And the truth is, we waited to share this purposefully, and we hope no one is offended by that. But we've had, I'm just going to be honest. Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that because I'll be honest too.
Okay. We've had people show up uninvited. We get that, you know, that this isn't, it's not private property. I mean, it is private property, but we get that we are accessible. But it also is an issue of we're on the World Wide Web daily, often, and we just felt a strong need to protect our privacy for a while. We still don't give out where we live.
Right.
I know you guys know the area. There's no way that we can share all of our videos and not say what the area is. But we don't give out our address. Y'all don't give yours out either. Trust me, don't put your address down below. Don't put your phone number. Don't put your email. Ask us how we know.
Right, yeah.
So you don't make your personal information public on the World Wide Web, and we don't either. So that's why, and we hope nobody's offended. But now that we're out,
Well, you know, from my perspective, I was talking to Deborah about this the other day. 99.9% of the people that watch my channel are dear to my heart, and I would love meeting every single one of you.
Absolutely.
But if you've been following both of us, you know we get some pretty nasty people that say very kind of scary things sometimes.
Well, I've had death threats. I have an FBI file on the death threats.
And you don't see those because we don't allow you to see those. We intercept those. And even as a, you know, I'm a pretty big guy, can take care of myself. I've been scared more than once when someone sort of charges up to my trailer, and I don't know whether it's friend or foe.
Yeah, and so, usually it's friend. We get that it's good intentions, but it's also our personal space. So
that's why sort of secrecy is a big word. It's like we chose not to, but we want to be honest. I can see the corner of my little house from here.
Yeah. He's 1 street away. Can I share that you're 1 street away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that.
All right. So he's 1 street away. Frugal RV Gal is 1 street away, and she's standing over there in the shadows, lurking. Talking about, are you scared? I'm scared.
She's the director, I thought.
She's the director.
She's the director.
She's about to call cut. So I'm getting ready to take Phoenix in. Rob is going to follow me, and Jana is, Rob is going to follow me, and Jana is, what are you doing today, Jana?
I'm going to be babysitting Finn.
So he could go with me, but the engine on the rig is really, really super, super loud, and it's stinky because it's not fixed. And so I don't want to put him through that. And so Jana is going to keep him, and he's going to hang out with Mama Jana. And he is getting so much better, but he also is still a yelper in his crate. He already knows, he has done sit twice, so he's learning sit. He knows no lick, no bite. He doesn't bite. He does these like love flea bites, but he's learning.
And he's friends with Dottie and Sammy.
Yeah.
Well, who else is going to be babysitting in the future?
Yeah, that's another video.
Oh, that's another video.
Okay.
So we're actually headed into town. I'm following Deborah in her rig because it's getting some work done this week. So I'm going to follow her in. And so I'm wondering, the news that we just threw out there, I'm wondering how many people that was a surprise to, or how many people are going to say, I knew that the whole time. Who are you guys think you're kidding? I'm just curious about that. We were just really super careful about it, just for the reasons that we said. You know, it's a very odd thing having a YouTube channel and have it reach a lot of people in a small community, right? If this was a general interest YouTube channel that I have with 11,000 subscribers and it was people from all across the country and all walks of life, it would be one thing. But very narrowly focused like this in these communities that are common for nomads, especially quartzite. Quartzite for sure is just packed with people that know me by my channel. I even in years past when the channel was a lot smaller, it was unusual to go into town and not have someone say, "Hey, you're Travels with Dottie," and stop and say hi. And that's just become more and more frequent. People that well-meaning, nice, kind people figuring out by my videos where my campsite was and sort of driving up and coming and knocking on the door. And the first thought is that, like, you're sort of looking at someone drive up and approach, and you're trying to size up, does this person look angry? Did they look happy? Because believe it or not, there's some people out there that I'm a licensed counselor, so I should be able to come up with the right psychological terms, but they fixate and they channel some kind of anger through you because of a mannerism, or you remind them of someone that maybe was abusive towards them. That's a real thing, and they don't realize that the reason for their anger and disdain towards you is rooted in something from their past. They just think, well, I'll just figure out the most logical thing that I can see, or even, make something up that makes it logical for me to hate this person. And like I said, super, super rare, but it happens. And there've been so many times where I've opened my door and held my breath. Is this friend or foe? And it's been friend, like, every time. Other YouTubers haven't been so lucky. Like Debra said, this is no joke. She had death threats and been stalked, and it's some scary stuff. But we're out. And the other thing I will say is, they're based on the we're in the Artesia area, right? And they're people that like to play detective. That's fine. I like to do that sometimes and try to figure stuff out from clues that I see online, and you figure out where we live. Okay, please don't put it into the comments, and please don't show up. Anyway, that's enough about the sort of the negative side. The positive side is that I don't have to be super careful anymore. You might notice that when I film where I live, I am super, super careful about what I film. I don't film any neighbors or anything like that. I'm very careful on how I frame my videos, and I'll still be careful, but not quite as intensely careful. Anyway, I can tell you too that we ask, please don't just drop by. I don't do that with Debra or Frugal either. I won't just walk up to their rig out of the blue. I'll text her. I'll call first. Is now a good time to come by? And Debra, okay, there are very few, other than my brothers and sisters, there are very few human beings on this planet that I've known longer than Debra. Debra and I have been friends for 30 years. Right? And even so, I'm super close to Debra. I would not dream of walking up to her lot or where she's camped somewhere and knock on her door without her absolutely knowing I'm on my way and I have permission. And she wouldn't do the same with me either. So it's not about, oh, we don't want subscribers or viewers knocking on her door. We don't want anybody knocking on her door. She doesn't want me. I don't want her. So a lot of you might say, hey, you've been talking about going to Quartzsite and you're telling the name of the RV park that you're going to be in. Well, that's true. Explanation would be that I'm in Quartzsite. People are going to figure that out really, really quickly. I mean, it's just, there's no point. And I want to be able to film around the RV park. I want to give a tour of that RV park. I want to walk with Dottie in the RV park, and I don't want to be worried that I'm giving away my location. That's just the nature of Quartzsite. I will probably make a sign that says, please do not disturb, something like that. All right. So there's a lot of etiquette between YouTubers. One is, you notice, hey, Rob, you're not showing the road on your drive. Well, that's because Debra's in front of me. And I get it that many, many of you know what Debra's rig looks like. She's done tours of it. There's been pictures on the outside of it. But if I turn the camera around, I am showing my YouTubers' friends' rig on my channel on the internet. The only way I would do that is if Debra said, oh, it's okay, I don't mind. I didn't ask. I'm not doing it. I won't do it. Which reminds me of another thing. A lot of people would give me a hard time for, you showed your license plate on, you should blur out your license plate. People do a lot of that, blurring out the license plate, as if there's some public way to put in a license plate number and get a name and address. There isn't. You have to be government. You have to be law enforcement or have an official government reason to access that database. There are no, and like everything that I say on here, folks, if I'm wrong, say Rob, you're wrong. Here's the website that you pay $9.95 and you can get it done. Send it to me and I will beg for forgiveness. But I don't think there's any way for a private citizen, even if you're willing to pay, to take a license plate and get someone's personal information off of it. So I've looked before I've said this, and I've said it before, and I haven't been able to find anything. That doesn't mean I'm right. It means I have an opinion. And I've looked up some laws too, and the laws say regular people don't have access. Okay. But it's still, so much of what we say that we state is fact, that we believe to be fact, is subject to revision. Kind of like it's the scientific principle. Things that were scientific fact in the 1960s, some of those things are no longer scientific fact. Why? Because they did experiments and they found stuff out, and they found out some stuff was wrong. and they had to replace it with new stuff. If we could go through life that way, not about just science, but about people and things and situations and politics, well, we'd all be much happier. I can't claim credit for this. I give credit to the woman that there's a woman in Sandpoint, Idaho, that is she's a PhD, she's a psychologist, and she was operating a nonprofit, and the nonprofit was doing group therapy and kind of rehabilitating nonviolent domestic violence offenders. Like nonviolent meaning misdemeanor, not serious stuff. So they would get sentenced to, you have to go to this men's group therapy at this organization every, like 2 times a week for like a year. It was extensive. And she brought me on as a volunteer to facilitate these groups. And which I did. But she trained me on how to do it. There was a curriculum, and by golly, it was a great curriculum. And the first thing I did is I took classes with her, like I was one of the guys, and I sat there and listened. And she came up with these things on her own that weren't part of the curriculum, and one of them really stuck with me, and I use it with my clients all the time. She was talking about having an argument or disagreement with someone that you absolutely disagree with, and things are escalating. She said, a great de-escalator is a simple, single sentence that is disarming and often will not only defuse but end an argument. And that argument is, and think about someone giving you an opinion that you absolutely, that's just not true. I don't agree with it. You could say legitimately this sentence. Are you ready? You could be right. It contains magical, mystical powers. Why? Because I'm not saying that you're right. I'm not saying that I'm wrong. I'm saying that you could be right. And in all the universe and all the stretch of time of infinity, is it remotely possible that this ridiculous thing could be right? Of course. Of course. And what the other person really hears, they don't necessarily hear that you're saying that they're right. You're hearing that they acknowledge that you have enough respect for them so that their opinion is worth considering. You might be right. You could be right. That could be something to really think about. They're all synonymous lines, because if you use "you could be right" over and over again in a 50-year marriage, they're going to catch on. They're going to catch on you're playing. You could be right. I've used it in comments a few times. I should probably use it more. The big one that just drives me crazy. You're wrong. The LTVA has gone up to $600 a year starting this year. Deep breath. No, they haven't. Why do you think that? Because you used artificial intelligence somewhere to ask the question, and they've come back and given you that answer. And if you have one that gives sources, their sources are Facebook, Instagram, unreliable sources. No, the LTVA is not. That was the proposal to go to 600. They haven't done it yet. It's still $180. In that moment, they could be right, though. Because every time I go to answer it, I go to the BLM website.
Debra Dickinson.
Sorry, that was Deborah calling saying we're getting close, and she left me behind a red light by accident. But we're catching up to her. We're in town now. I lost my train of thought a little, but that's, little things like that really are good for relationships, right? Especially when you inevitably have these fundamental disagreements about sometimes little things. And often I think the disagreements about little things aren't about the little thing. They're about respect for each other, and one person or the other thinking, I'm not getting the respect that the respect and the kindness that I would like. And so often we discover delightfully that delivering kindness and respect it's not as steep a climb as we sometimes think it is. Sometimes it's the right words at the right time that don't compromise what we think or believe or feel. That makes sense? Boy, I didn't make this video was just about where I'm living and my friend Debra, and here I am talking about this deep psychology and counseling stuff. But you know what? I'm sticking to my rule of I talk on here about what I'm passionate about and what I enjoy. And do I enjoy this stuff not just because I'm a therapist, but because I really, really try to live what I help people do. I try to, I'll be in a therapy session and I'll say something and I'll say to myself, "Ooh, Rob, you should listen to your own your own words there. That sounds pretty good, and maybe that applies to you too." And often we think of therapists as, "Oh, they know everything. They've got it all figured out." I'm going to tell you a secret. No, we don't. That was somebody got offended that every once in a while, jokingly, I'll lean forward and I'll whisper something in the camera, and someone was offended by that. Got on a comment. Didn't like that. The ridiculous things that people just get out and think they need to vent on. Boy, this one guy was angry about me wearing suspenders, insisting that no one ever wears suspenders, and you need to find a belt, and you need to, wear a belt like you're supposed to. And I'm thinking, well, this guy probably is a casual viewer, doesn't know anything about YouTube, but I always check to see, hey, especially people with but school is out, so this is really hard to get through this intersection. There are little kids all over the roads and sidewalks. You got to be so careful. Sorry, I got distracted. But just like me, I went and I checked, and this guy has a decent sized YouTube channel with decent videos on it. I'm like, what is he thinking? And all I could think is there's someone in his life in his past that wore suspenders that wasn't kind to him. That's all I could think of, that it made him so angry. And I'm sorry, I'm going to keep wearing suspenders because, one, I don't like the way belts feel. And when I discovered suspenders, I'm like, oh, this is freedom. I've got one of those kind of waistlines and body shapes that when I'm wearing belts, no matter how tight they are, I'm constantly having to adjust and pull my pants to the right position. So I love suspenders, and it's a fashion statement for me. It may not be one that you're too excited about, but I like it. Look who's in my car.
Hello, hello, hello. And my hands are filthy, grimy, greasy, yucky.
What Debra doesn't know is all the ridiculous stuff I was talking about all the way in. I was talking about psychology stuff and counseling, and just like, I don't know where it came from, but it was like completely off topic. One of the things I said was, I know you guys like seeing the road, but I'm not shooting you because Deborah's in front of me, and I talked about sort of these rules that we have amongst us as nomads. Like, I would not dream of filming your rig going down the road without you knowing that I'm filming your rig going down the road and getting permission. The other thing that I pointed out...
moving forward, you have permission.
Okay. The other thing that I said was, don't, if you're hearing the message, oh, we don't want people coming near us at our homes and stuff. That's not it.
And thank you for saying that. Yeah.
Well, here's how I illustrated it this way. I said, I live in the same place as Jana and Debra. I don't walk up to their rigs and knock on their door unannounced. And I said...
Unless you're delivering sour cream.
Well, yeah, unless I'm doing... But you know what I mean. It just isn't something that we do with each other. And I've known you for 30 years.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Even the other day when I needed to stop by, I stopped, and just like you do when you're boondocking or anything, you stay away from the rig.
Yeah.
You call out. I did that same thing for you, even though you were in your tiny home. I was like, Rob, and I waited, and I was gonna walk off if you were coming. I mean, I would never have walked onto your porch and up to your door.
That.
Yeah, just don't do that.
But anyway, that's etiquette between those of us that know each other extremely well. You can imagine with someone we've never met before in our life. So like, I was saying, please, no one be offended by that.
I hope
We're
not.
talking about the 1/10% that,
well, we all know what the world's like today.
Yeah.
We're not addressing our wonderful viewers. It is just a safety issue for me. I should speak for me. It's a safety issue. It's a being willing to sleep at night peacefully.
Well, and for me, being able to sleep during the day peacefully. That's the thing. I've had viewers wake me up from a nap in Quartzsite.
A nap. What is that?
That's when you rest your eyes in your lounger during the day. There was something else too, and I can't think of what it was.
I'm probably interrupting you.
Well, my viewers know I constantly lose my train of thought.
Squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. We had a little dog when I was growing up, a little named Kimmer. A little Cairn Terrier. It was my stepmother's dog. And I love that little dog, but if he saw a squirrel, he went crazy, like in the house out the window. And I could elicit the same response by just saying squirrel. And and my stepmother gets so mad at me.
So you did it a lot.
Oh, all the time. Get the squirrel. Kimmer, get the squirrel.
How did I know this?
Oh, that'd be me.
So we are headed to a restaurant I've not been to before called the Lucky Duck.
And if you live here, if you're a native, you just call it the Duck.
I like Lucky Duck.
And the Duck, the owner, closed on Saturday because he got married. Yay! He's a newlywed. I wonder if he's there. It'll be open. I wonder if he's there or he's on his honeymoon.
I hope it's open. You and I don't have the best of luck finding restaurants.
Well, it's not easy to find because it's in a hotel, and the sign is whoa.
Light changed on him.
It's not easy to see. And there's we're passing my favorite grocery store here, Country Finn's Country Market.
Not as in my Finn. That Finn is with an E. My Finn is with an I.
Right. Finn and Fens. It's close, though.
You can't tell the difference. I keep forgetting your truck dies at lights.
Yeah,
it
it's got
scares
that.
me to death when it starts
turns
up.
it off. Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah, I don't. It scares me. I want my vehicle running.
All right, so see the Best Western?
I do.
That's where the restaurant is. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
You would never know it. You could look at you can see the sign just barely there. Lucky Duck Grill. And we have arrived, and I'll show. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I will show you what we got when we get inside the meals. Okay, these are breakfast sliders. I have 2 of them. I'll probably eat one, take one home, and a hash brown. They're delivering some. And Debra's a carnivore, so she got the carnivore plate. And if you're wondering about that bacon, here's how she ordered it. Listen, I want extra, extra, extra crispy.
And they obliged.
And they obliged. Well, Debra is doing a return here at Walmart, so I'm sitting out in the parking lot waiting for her. We ran a few errands, and we're now on our way back. And that's going to end today's video. And I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.